Our first panel today is titled Our Generation, where we will hear from young Yolngu men and women who will share their lives and their vision for their future as Aboriginal men and women in the modern world. I'm going to start by introducing our panellist. We have Mungu from the Dalawanga clan, senior Yolngu educator with the Cultural College and director, chairperson of Family Corporation in Ninyika Dawaba Corporation. And then we have our next guest is Magnolia Mummy Jama Maimaru from the Mungali clan, and she is a positive role model for community and arts mediator and award-winning actor, model and advocate for her people. And the next beautiful guest is Burat Munagu from the Jabal clan, who works for Yuthul Yindi Foundation, and last year she hosted the American ambassador and the Prime Minister at Garma. She works with the Dilek Council and is a youth advocate, so please make them feel welcome. Beautiful. So we are celebrating Yolngu excellence with this year's theme, Jumbach. So we're going to go down the line of this Yolngu excellence, and we're going to have the same question, and then they're just going to answer it because we want to hear their stories and share with that. So starting with, who was your inspiration and how did they inspire you to achieve what you have? Nice and close.
1, 2. Yo. It's good morning. You guys look too serious. Making me feel nervous. It's self-determination. It's about young people standing up and taking ownership of our destiny. It's definitely empowering as well. But the best thing about it is coming from the grassroots. It's coming from the old people. It's coming from the country. We're not just digging around and throwing spears, you know. It's about maintaining culture. And that's what it's founded on. So it's founded on culture, on country, and moving as a people, and connecting with other clan group. That's what the important thing about it is, maintaining that sustainability.
Beautiful, I love that. Thank you. Magnolia. Nice and close.
So my inspirations were my grandmothers and my great-grandmother, Gay Malayunupingo. Her photo's up there, by the way. And my Wakko, my maternal great-grandmother. They were very strong ladies. They taught me a lot about what it is to be a young girl, teenager and woman. They taught me a lot about, like what Dad said, self-determination. They taught me a lot about being strong and being truthful, to stand my ground and to always remind who I am and where I come from. And I think that's what helped me get through my career in such a long, long time. That's it.
I guess I would like to acknowledge my mother and father, uncles and aunts, grandfathers and grandmothers. My inspiration was my nana. She was kind of like the glue that held the family together. Back in 2014, when I was in boarding school, she was on live Q&A broadcasting from here, and she spoke directly into the camera and said, I know my 2 granddaughters are watching me now, that in the future you'll be able to thank me for what I've done to you, which obviously takes me to now. Walking in both worlds and just acknowledging the foundation of where I come from, who I am, but also, learning about the Western ways. So for me, it's the give and take part of both worlds, and then, what I've taken from my education down south and bringing it back here and sharing it with the family, the community, and most importantly, the youth. because the elders talk about, you know, the next generation. I see the elders as walking dictionaries because, you know, they have knowledge, they have the law in their hands, so that transferal, you know, transferring all that knowledge and important stuff, cultural identity, that's a big thing for me. So yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing who's inspired you. Absolutely. So along the way, it's not always easy or perfect. So what have been some of the challenges when you've been trying to achieve what you want to achieve for your people and for yourself? Did you want to add more to that?
I think it's a system. It's always been a challenge for younger people from the beginning. But we've found a way to thrive in ways to inspire ourselves and take every challenge as an experience, but also to rise above it. But it's what young lady then was saying, talking about it's our identity and our cultural practices what has kept us moving forward. And in this part of the world, it's pretty much contained, and Arnhem land was never conquered, and we still go about our cultural practices a daily. It's more than a religion. It's a ritual. It's our spiritual identity that that kept us going to this far, and we believe that it's going to take us beyond.
Beautiful. Thank you. Magnolia?
The challenges I faced being a young Yolngu model in the fashion industry was trying to explain the importance of our law and our customs. So there would be photo shoots during a time when we had very important funerals, and if it was booked, they couldn't understand why I couldn't attend. So we used to have to go back and forth about it, trying to explain how much of a big role I had to play being the eldest of my siblings and in my family. And it was a big challenge in the beginning because I think I didn't really speak about it much. This was in the first 2 years of my modelling, and that was back in 2014 and 15. And once I started to speak up about it and talk about why it was important, who I am, what I represent, who I represent, it really did break a lot of the barriers. Now I can pick and choose where I want to work, and I think that's what the determination and dedication got me through. But it was a big challenge, a very big challenge, because I think they didn't understand, I guess, the way it kind of looked as if these were really big opportunities and I had to be grateful in order to get these opportunities. And I was, and I still am, but my culture comes first, and it's who I am, it's who I will forever be. And a lot of our Rom and our, like Bungol and Manike is who we are, and I could not put that aside to become who I am, because it was already who I was and who I am. Yeah.
Buddha, nice and close to the microphone, please.
I guess challenges in my life, I would say with Marcus, the system, and education, I think, is a big one for me, because I was one of the privileged ones to go down to boarding school and, feel the pressure of what it's like to be away from home, family, culture. And it was just like adapting to the Western world, the Balanda way, and how they operate. So it was just, me fitting in or, trying to find a spot. But then the older I I kind of realised that some people, like myself, maybe we're not meant to fit in. Maybe we're meant to stand out and be bigger and better people, and once again to educate these people. So coming back, you know, we've always had, I just want to acknowledge the Yolngu teachers and the Gulkula Bilingual School, maybe just for other people to go out and experience what the bilingual school is, or the bush uni that we have at Garatalala, and once again just about that give and take, just so we can all come together as Yolngu and Balanda and overcome these challenges and these obstacles that us Indigenous people of Australia face when it comes to certain things such as education. So yeah, I think it's important that we're all together and we all have a say. So yeah, that's important for me, just so we can learn how to move on. And I guess for me, like as Magnolia said, I'm the eldest out of 3. So I'm kind of used to getting chucked in the deep end. So it's a lot easier for my sisters and the other youth, which is good. But you know, if it wasn't for the help of other young leaders in the community, especially the Dilak, you know, because they see potential in us, and you know, we know what it's like in the Balanda world, because we've gone out and we've realised what it's like, come back and shared our experience. So challenges such as that, I think, are important. And as you, like, you know, make your way to different places and meet different people, you know, there'll be other challenges as well. And it's about, you know, once again coming together. And for Yolngu people, we speak very like in metaphors. So if you can just all picture us like on a canoe, all travelling to the same destination. To get there, obviously, it doesn't take one person to paddle, but it takes a team. So yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. And of course, we want to hear what a highlight has been of your career so far and your life so far.
The most biggest thing that family, you know, especially the two, because we run tours with, together with the other family group that's over at Bukudal. So we got Inyika and Bukudal working together. Our biggest programs that we run through Culture College is based here at Gulkula. So that's one of being the biggest highlights for the two families that's been working on that project. And if you haven't heard of it, yeah, look it up, Culture College. The programs we run is based on teaching Yolngu curriculum, but also colliding, you know, not colliding, but putting together the two worlds. And we got really magnificent team of people working together from Yolngu, both Yolngu and from the Balanda side, and you know, and also interstate, other Aboriginal groups, Indigenous groups who's coming for this cause. And yeah, it's about cultural education based on Yolngu country. Yeah, it's awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah. Lucky, wonderful children that you've got there working, and it's I love that this is what's happening more, like your curriculum. It's so important and so special. So congratulations on that work. Magnolia? Oh yes, give him a card. Absolutely.
There's so many highlights I've had in my career, but I think the number one, the top one on my list is when the moment I knew I made it in the fashion industry is just after I had my daughter. I was approached by Vogue for us to be on the cover, and she was just 4 months at the time. And it was crazy because I thought, okay, once I have my daughter, I think I might settle down for a bit. No, 4 months is all it took. And that's when I knew that my hard work had paid off, that I have made a pathway not only for myself but then for her. That was kind of a representation that what I do matters. And it really does prove to me that what I'm doing and anything that I do is going to affect her, good, bad, whichever way. But I think that was one of my highlights, is when we did the cover of Vogue. And that's a big flex, but she doesn't know it.
Sure is. Burat?
What is it? Highlights.
Highlight.
So I think, just like Magnolia, I've got a daughter myself. She's 7, turning 8 in September, and I've done the same thing my nana did to me. I've sent her down to Melbourne, doing school down there, so, which is good to carry on that legacy piece that my nana left behind. I think another highlight, when I was in boarding school, getting into AFL, so doing work experience with them, and even, you know, playing at a national level and in the Indigenous Woomera team. I think that was a big highlight for me, because got to meet other young Indigenous women who were so passionate about sport, and to represent who they are and where they come from. I guess there's excellence in all categories, not just sport, but, you know, it was good experience, and I kind of would like that experience that other young people could have, because you never know where, you know, things can take you. And another highlight is probably, I would say, growing up down in Melbourne, Victoria, because it's like a home away from home. It's good to have, you know, another place that you can leave and get away, and, you know, I still have connections of the people that I grew up with, and every time I go back up there, get to play netball. So it's, I think, a non-stop journey, but just a new chapter to the book of life, and most importantly, your journey. So yeah.
Beautiful. They're quite the high achievers, and a lot to be proud of, that's for sure. What are your hopes for the future?
A lot of things we hope for. It's just about making sure that our children are being educated in both worlds, so that they learn about their spirituality, and that our curriculum doesn't fade away. It stands where it is. But also would like to have more people in a level, you know, when those kids will come up, grow up, position themselves into reality where they will take ownership of, you know, of their future. Yeah. Not someone else determining their future. And that's where we have to build now. You know, the theme for this year is Jambite, you know. We have to make them not smart up here, but strong in here. You know, to be able to look into the future, not just looking at what's happening right now. You know, for them to be able to look ahead.
Love that.
You know, that's the most important thing that we have to hope for.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
My hopes for the future, I have so many, but I think the one I'm going to say is definitely being able to encourage as many young women and men, and to do my best and work my hardest to open up many pathways for our children. I hope that I can forever remain a really good, positive role model for our people. For my daughter as well, she's only 2, but I have high expectations of her. Yeah, I think I want to be able to, I guess, fill my life with such positive people, to fill my life with a lot of successful people that will not only help me, but help make pathways for our generations, for our younger generations as well. I feel like there's so much I could talk about, but I'm going to leave it there. Yeah.
What I hope for my and other people's future, I think to see young people being as interested as our elders are interested in transferring that knowledge, because, you know, people, especially our elders, aren't going to be around for that long. So it's very important that we step up as young people to meet with our elders and meet with even Balanda people. But as I said earlier, it's about coming together and maintaining that relationship between Yolngu and Balanda. You know, and we speak about the past a lot, which is, I guess, if we look back to where we are now, that's a big move for each and every one of us here, sitting here. So as a young Yolngu woman, I kind of look back at my history, and, you know, when Yolngu time started, it's important. But then when I also look at Balanda people, I kind of think, you know, what are our hopes for both Yolngu and Balanda? What are our hopes for our, you know, children and our elders? And it's about understanding each other, and I guess really just getting out there and expressing everything, just so it's all on the table. And, you know, so we're like for myself, you know, just like Magnolia, I have high expectations of my daughter, and I hope that, you know, she has the same mindset as me to fulfill her great-grandmother's legacy and to fulfill, you know, other elders that she never got to saw, but just hearing the stories of all the work that they've done for our people and how she can carry on as, you know, the third generation, I guess. So our hope, I think, if we all come together, you know, big things and great things come. Yeah.
Well, I think we can all agree we've witnessed some Yolngu excellence here, and the future looks beautiful and it looks strong. So can we please thank our panellists and give them a big round of applause.